It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by John's Heating and Air, Command Family Medicine, and Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Welcome to your Wednesday. It is February 12th, and we are waking up with a winter mess on the radar in a lot of places early this morning, and temperatures that are either side of that critical freezing point this morning, which makes the forecast very fun. We've got a little bit of everything this morning. We've already had some fog, some freezing fog in the forecast. There's been some freezing drizzle reported across the Ozarks, adding a little thin layer of ice to everything this morning, making it feel rather slick. That's along and north of the I-44 corridor. We also have rain chances in the Ozarks today, along with additional chances for freezing rain, sleet, and snow. So not complicated at all. And definitely we will have some winter impacts from that. We are already feeling the effects of those. Make sure you check that MoDOT travel map before heading out. And there is a long list of schools that are closed in the Ozarks. So it is just going to be kind of a winter-like day, a bonus snow day for many as we head into the rest of the afternoon. We'll get straight to it this morning because there is a lot to talk about. A lot of what we have on the radar right now is a wintry mix. So that rain-snow mix, there's some sleet in there, a little bit of freezing drizzle. Anywhere where the temperature is 32 or just above, yes, there could be some slick spots, but I think what you're going to experience is a lot of melting on the way down. Also, there have been some winter events that have happened before sunrise, but a lot of this now is going to be falling during the daylight hours, and oftentimes it takes a little bit longer to accumulate. So what we may see is some of the rainfall or snowfall melting as it comes down to the surface. I think we will see a lot of that along and south of the I-44 corridor, meaning that it doesn't look bad outside, but there could still be some impacts and some slick spots. Where the slick spots and the impacts are going to be really likely is where the soil temperature and the surface temperature is well below freezing. And that's for areas along and north of Highway 54. And yes, north of Highway 60 as well. That corridor is going to be rather slick this morning too. So just look out this morning. If you absolutely have to be on the roads, make sure you are taking it slow. Slow is really just the only way to do it in weather like this. It is a mess across the country. It's not just us in the Ozarks having a wintry event today. It's much of the Ohio River Valley, the Tennessee Valley, and then there's flash flooding happening down along the Gulf Coast, all from this same storm system. We are in the part of the storm system that's kind of cutting that line where the freezing line is. And that's why we have a mixed bag of precipitation falling today. And I think in Springfield, we get just a little bit of everything. A winter weather advisory is in place for most of the area through 9 p.m. tonight. That includes the Springfield metro area and the I-44 corridor. In fact, stretches down into northern Arkansas and parts. Even though temperatures along the Missouri and Arkansas state line will be closer to the freezing point or even above freezing, I don't expect a whole lot in the way of wintry weather there. Yes, we could still see a few slick areas, so big heads up for everybody if you're traveling today. If you're heading up north, especially toward Kansas City, that's where most of the snowfall is going to happen. I-70 corridor, bigger snowfall totals expected there, along with the Jeff City region. Lake of the Ozarks probably going to end up having one of our highest snowfall totals after this event. The ice accumulation, the freezing rain, and the sleet, that's going to be kind of falling right along the I-44 corridor. Eastern Ozarks have a good chance for seeing this. So I'm talking Houston back toward West Plains, all the way over into portions of Taney County and Douglas County. This is where I think we see the sleet and the ice really pick up. Wright County could see some of this as well. It's a wintry mix for the center of the Ozarks, so it may not look like much out the window, but that thin layer of ice is enough to make things really dicey. More likely, we have the rain chances south of Highway 60 and the far southern portion of Missouri into northern Arkansas, and then higher snowfall totals along Highway 54. As I mentioned, Lake of the Ozarks back into portions of Hickory County, all the way down over to Joplin and Pittsburgh. That's where the higher snowfall totals will be, anywhere from 2 to 5 inches of snowfall there. And even central Missouri could see 6+ in the area. So the highest totals will go to the Kansas City region. The greatest snowfall accumulations in the Ozarks north of I-44, but still in the Springfield area, I'm thinking 1 to 2 inches of snowfall for us. That's with a thin little layer of ice beneath it. So enough to make it slick and warrant some of the closings happening across the Ozarks today. We have additional chances for wintry weather in this forecast too by this weekend. I have yet another chance for rain changing over into snow. That's going to happen on Saturday evening into Saturday night. So I want to alert you to that. Travel on Sunday could be slick again with some of the rain changing over to snowfall. That looks to happen Saturday night into early Sunday. Temperatures, they're brutally cold. Today we have a high temperature just above the freezing point for many, and then lows tonight will fall to the low teens. It'll feel like the low single digits, though, on Thursday morning. We also continue to see temperatures that are really cold Thursday night back into the teens again, 18 for Friday morning. And then by Friday afternoon, we start to see those numbers jump. We'll be back into the mid 40s on Friday, and then numbers cool down again for the weekend. And the weather doesn't look nice, really, for the next couple of weeks. It does look like we'll be in kind of a cooler than average and an active pattern for us. Not unusual, though. I mentioned that it's very active across the country today. And indeed, there's a lot going on across the nation. We have a winter storm affecting much of the country today with heavy snow, sleet, and freezing rain. Also, this same storm, it moves into the Great Lakes and the Northeast on Thursday. While all of that's happening, we've got heavy rain and flash flooding for the Gulf Coast states, and then this atmospheric river bringing flooding and torrential rain to parts of Northern California. That will be ongoing as we head into today, too. So, no lack of weather headlines in your forecast, definitely. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister trivia question. And the question that I left you with yesterday, it was a 50-50. And do you know this one? True or false? Mittens are warmer than gloves. It doesn't seem like it should be true, but it is. Congrats. If A, true was your guess. When your fingers are in close proximity to each other, they generate more heat collectively if you let them stay together in a mitten. It results in an increased overall warmth, and this makes mittens an excellent choice for those who tend to have really cold hands or on these extreme, brutally cold days. Gloves provide less warmth, but they offer better dexterity, especially if you're like me and you're trying to like zip up little children with mittens or gloves on for that matter. I end up having to take them off. And, I suffer for a short period of time. But I heard this fun fact. And as a result, I bought my kids mittens instead of gloves in hopes that they stay a little bit warmer. We'll need that in the coming days. All right, here's the question that I'll leave you with for tomorrow. Each year, at least how many snowflakes fall from the sky? Yeah, total, like across the world. Do you think it is 90 million, 5 billion, 1 trillion, or 1 septillion? Do you have a guess? Let me know what you think. You can do that at aroundtheozarks.com. I sure appreciate you listening this morning. I hope everyone stays safe in this winter weather. Take it slow. Stay off the roads if you can along I-44 and north. That's where I think most of the slick spots are today. Thanks so much to our sponsors, John's Heating and Air, Command Family Medicine, and Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet. Have a great one. We'll chat again tomorrow morning.